A lot of people go on vacation during the summer months, but don't forget that the fall and winter are also amazing times of the year to visit Disney World in Florida. Welcome back, and in this video I'm going to discuss and share some of my opinions as to why I think that visiting Disney World in Orlando, Florida is awesome and amazing in the fall and winter months. Now, if you come from the north, a lot of families tend to vacation during the summer months, and that's when they'll go to Disney. And that's primarily because of kids being off of school and there's more time to have a little bit of a longer vacation. But the problem with that is you can still have a lot of fun. It's warm. Definitely water sports and water activities are great in the summer. But the issue is that you can't get away from the fact that the heat in Florida is very, very intense, especially the humidity, and that combination, especially with the rain, which makes the days of your vacation very sketchy, because especially if you're not going for a lot of days, and even if you're going for a week, there's been times in Florida where it just literally rains off and on pretty much every day, again, especially during the summer months. And again, in the summertime, it's still a lot of fun, but it's important to really consider other days of the year to visit Disney World, because the first time that I visited Disney World during the winter and fall was during a business trip. It was a business conference, and I remember how beautiful it was. And ever since then, I never really looked back, and I primarily returned to Disney only in the cooler months because the weather is just so beautiful. It's very dry. There's no rain, no storms in the winter. There's a lot less of them. You don't have to worry about the hurricanes. They typically the hurricane season ends at the end of summer, beginning to middle of fall. Although sometimes you got to watch it; they can extend into the end of fall. But if you're talking about right around when winter starts, you're pretty much clear of the major storms. And if you're vacationing in the winter, then for sure there's not going to be any hurricanes. Disney World is an awesome place to visit in the fall and winter. I especially like visiting areas like Disney World Showcase in Epcot, and here's why. Typically in the summer, what you'll find is a lot of people, especially when you want to enjoy the foods and the drink in World Showcase, you want to enjoy the sample foods and just relax, then you're going to see that there's not a lot of spaces to sit, because there's a lot of competition between people trying to find the right, the treasured shaded areas, the one seat, the one table, flat surface that you can eat on. But in the fall and winter, I find that you have a lot more options to eat in basically wide open areas, because you don't have to worry about the heat and the humidity as much. So I find myself having a great time without the pressure of trying to find the perfect table, the perfect spot, shaded area to eat. If I find it, that's a bonus, that's great, I'll take it. But it's not a requirement for me, and I don't really stress out over that. I just have a better time, I think, in the fall and the winter, simply because there's less of a need to find shaded areas so that you can get away from the heat, because the weather is just so much more comfortable during those cooler months of the year. The other reason I think Disney World is great to visit in the fall and winter is because they have, different activities, different theming that I think makes it very special. Because if you've never been, and I remember it was maybe maybe close to 10 years ago that I first visited Disney in the fall and the winter, and I really never myself personally experienced Disney World theming the way that they made it in the fall and the winter. I've been to Disney in the summer months numerous times in the past, especially when I was a lot younger. But never had I experienced the beautiful winter theming, holiday theming of Disney World in the winter months. And in the fall especially, you have Halloween theming going on. That is something that was a little bit surprising to me, just how much I would like that. The Halloween and the fall autumn theming in Disney World is really top notch. It really does put you in a feeling of that you are experiencing an autumn or fall season. And it's difficult to do in the tropical areas of Florida where you see a lot of palm trees, and it's tough to suspend belief that, hey, it's the fall. But in Disney World, not only does the weather get a little bit more tolerable, it gets a lot more comfortable, but you have the added spectacle that is the Disney fall theming, especially with Halloween. And they do a great job. They go over the top on that, as Disney always does. But between having different kind of foods, different kind of like the lighting, the ambiance created by the decor, the costumes that the characters are in, and the staff, the Halloween parties. Of course, right now in the summer of 2020, unfortunately, there's very limited. It's just not like it used to be, but it will go back to normal one day very soon. But still, you can still have fun. You can still enjoy the ambiance, the foods, and even, believe it or not, the smells and the scents of fall in the fall months. The way Disney does it, the cuisine, the way they have special holiday themed foods that are basically given only during the times of the year that holiday is going on. Like you have Halloween type foods. I remember eating a Halloween churro, which is, well, I'm not going to describe it too much, but let me just tell you that these Halloween themed foods, not only just the entrees, but the pastries, the desserts. I'm not big on desserts and pastries, so when I go to Disney, I will indulge. And it's great that when I do that, the few times that I do that, I'm doing it with amazing tasting, good food that really makes you feel very comfortable. It makes you feel very good inside, and it's just a different experience. I recommend it to really everybody. Visit Disney World in the fall and winter months. You will not regret it. You'll have a great time. As far as like the way the parks are, the way they make me feel, and what I think about the different parks in Disney, obviously fall and winter, I love Epcot. I love Epcot World Showcase. Again, you don't have to compete for shaded areas because the weather is so beautiful. Pretty much anywhere you go is going to be nice. But then you have Magic Kingdom, just the other opposite extreme of things. You don't have to worry about Magic Kingdom and waiting online and experiencing uncomfortable situations with weather and humidity in the rain. You have very little chance of getting into those situations, because in the fall and winter, it's just a lot nicer. And Disney World in the fall and winter, especially in the winter, believe it or not, it can be pretty crowded as well. I found that out when I went during Christmas, and people tend to want to experience Disney in Christmas. Who knew? Of course, I didn't know that, but a lot of people know that. But I still had a lot of fun, a lot of crowds. But the fall and the early part of winter, you can't beat it. You get usually a lot less crowds compared to like the super peak times. And I find that if you look online, you can find those windows of opportunity. You can kind of gauge by the pricing of the rooms and availability of places to stay in Disney what the crowd congestion levels are like. And definitely check out the vlogging channels of other Disney vloggers and Disney social media sites that really go into current event details about what's going on in Disney in current times, including crowd levels, activities, and not only that, but they can tell you, weather situations, Disney rules and regulations, because again, summer of 2020, things are very fluid. Things are changing, things are very dynamic, and it's important to be on top of that. You want to go to Disney and know what to expect as much as you can. And unfortunately right now, I'm not able to get to Disney, but I will get to Disney. That is on my to-do list. I haven't been there in a while, and I will do it. I will get to Disney and give you some of my opinions and my experiences right from the different resorts and parks, so that you can kind of get to see and experience Disney through my eyes, through my perspective, which I think it's important. I think a lot of people, they want to see other people in Disney. And again, you look at other vloggers, Disney vloggers, and they do an amazing job. They're awesome content creators. Having said that, you want to look at a variety of different vloggers, because depending on their ages, their likes, dislikes, what they want to do in Disney, if they have a family, if they're going single, if they're going with a group of friends, if they're going on business, you want to get a variety of opinions and experiences, so that you could kind of find one that maybe matches your individual wants and needs of a Disney trip. That's pretty nice too. So maybe there's people out there that kind of want to see what I think about Disney and my experiences there, and I'll try to do that to the best of my abilities. I'm not going to be as good as some of these other Disney vloggers, but hey, I'm going to do my best, and I'm going to get better. Now, as far as Disney World, other resorts that I think are awesome in the fall and the winter, again, they all are, but things that stand out to me are places that you can walk around, places where you can take a lot of strolls. I find myself riding only the main attractions in Disney and taking advantage of, nighttime strolls, especially when you have to wear like a little bit of extra clothing because it's a little cooler. And believe it or not, at night in the fall and the winter, it can get cool enough that you'll need a sweater, or at least a light jacket. And that's great, because it gives you, again, a different experience. You're walking around Disney and you're seeing people in hoodies, light jackets, sometimes hats. And then when it gets really cold, you'll even see them in gloves and scarves and stuff. So it's a really good, eye-opening, fantastic experience to visit Disney, really during, a variety of times during the year. But the fall and the winter especially, it just takes the edge off of the climate, the intense heat, the rainy climate of Florida. It's just a great time to visit. Everybody seems very happy during the fall and the winter. Again, maybe that's a reason too, because the weather is so good. You just can't help but feel very comfortable and very happy in Disney during fall and winter. Another great thing about Disney in the fall and winter is that the experience of shopping for souvenirs and going into the stores is taken to, I think, another level, because Disney goes just all out on the merchandising and the theming of the merchandising. And I never thought of myself as a person to buy souvenirs or buy things in what I thought to be overpriced stores and shops, tourist shops in various tourist destinations. Disney is definitely one of those. But I gotta say that Disney changed my mind. I think there's some quality merchandise that Disney sells. Some of it, you could say it's a little pricey, and it definitely is. Of course, it's a little pricey. It's Disney and it's a tourist area, but these are special items. The quality is usually very, very good, and a lot of times you can only find these items in Disney. And don't forget too, you're in the mood. You're in a special place, and you have a special feeling when you're going there and you're experiencing it. And buying these things make it even that much more meaningful, especially when you bring these items back to your home and experience them and you wear them again. Even when you're not at Disney, they will, if you buy a sweater at Disney or a shirt or a souvenir coffee mug, it's just gonna bring you back to Disney as you use it at your home. It's gonna bring back the memories. It's gonna wanna make you go back, and it's gonna put a smile on your face. So there's a lot to do in Disney. You could do pretty much everything except some of the water activities because it can get a little chilly. But you could pretty much do everything year-round at Disney. But it's especially beautiful and different because of the seasonal theming in the fall and the winter. So that'll be the end of this video, guys. Hopefully you got something out of it. In the future, I hope to attend Disney World attend Disney World during the fall and winter, and I will. And I'm gonna bring you some of those experiences. So until the next video, guys, thank you for watching and be safe out there. Talk to you later. Bye.